Most people trying to lose fat are doing way too much. I know because I was one of them. Overweight, out of shape, dependent on alcohol at complete rock bottom. I've also coached hundreds of people to get into the absolute shape of their life. And hands down, these three things are the things that most people get wrong, and they're ultimately killing your results. Now, this is a part that nobody wants to hear because everybody's looking for the secret, the hack, the quick fix. But fat loss it's just a boring, simple process. Create a calorie deficit, whether that be consuming less calories, increasing output through cardio, steps, training, or a combination of the two. Do that for long enough, do the same shit over and over again, and guess what? You're now leaner. The problem is people do way too much, they go to way too many extremes, they burn out, they end up back to square one and think, what's the fucking point? So you've decided you're unhappy. You want to drop body fat, get leaner. And you attack it like a red rag to a bull, like a horny teenager in a brothel. You're training every day. You're doing 20,000 steps. You're doing cardio every other day. The trouble is, one of two things then starts to happen. You either get to the end of week one, feel like you've been dry humped by a double-decker bus, and then need to take a week off. The only trouble then is that week off that you've took to recover becomes 2 weeks, becomes 3 weeks, and then before you know it, your next direct debit payment to the gym's gone out and you haven't set foot in the place for weeks on end. Or you try and sustain this level of activity, get to a point where life gets in the way, which it undoubtedly will at time. If you're an adult and you've got responsibilities, you've got a family and shit going on, life will provide challenges, it will get in the way. You then feel like you've not done enough, you feel deflated, you think, what's the fucking point? And then you end up back to square one. So the solution to all of this is figure out what you can commit to, even on your busiest week. If that's 4 sessions a week and 8,000 steps a day, that's fine. That's your new baseline. You work to now become habitual at doing that, rinse and repeat. Not just this week and next week, but every week, every month for a prolonged period of time. Doing slightly less, but doing it more consistently for a prolonged period of time will elicit far greater fat loss results than going too hard, too soon, and not being able to sustain it. And listen, if you're completely clueless on where to start with any of this, I've created a free guide that will cut away all the bullshit, set you on the right path, and map out all the basics on what you need to do to start your fat loss journey. Click the link in the description, enter your email address, you'll get instant access today. Secondly, you believe the hype around clean eating and you just go way too extreme with your nutritional intake. So you start tracking your intake. You're drinking 37 litres of water every day. And anything with any kind of colour or taste or flavour, it's gone. It's out the window because you believe that's the best way to lose body fat and get leaner. You know the score. It's a tale as old as time. You stop eating chocolate. You quit alcohol. If it isn't chicken, rice and broccoli, it's gone because you think that's what's required to get in shape. The trouble with this is you get a week, 2 weeks down the line, someone wafts a chocolate bar under your nose and before you know it, you're hiding in the bathroom like a relapsed crack addict, inhaling an entire packet of chocolate digestives. The solution to this is sit down and put pen to paper. Write yourself a meal plan. Base roughly 90% of your intake around single ingredient whole foods. Season your meat. Add spices. Include plenty of fruit and vegetables. And then the other 10% can be a little bit of what you fancy. Not only is this going to be far more sustainable and far easier to stick to, you'll be able to do it for longer, therefore get a greater result. And thirdly, you're trying to add way too much variety to your diet. Fat loss phases are supposed to be a short burst of just saying no to things, making sacrifices, doing the shit that isn't necessarily comfortable to get a fat loss result so you can reverse diet, bring calories up to maintenance and beyond. The trouble is you're waking up every day trying to figure out what it is you're going to eat that day. If you approach a fat loss phase like a B-Tech Gordon Ramsay, trying to keep things interesting, mix things up, shit like that, that fat loss phase will last a lot longer than it needs to. Make your meals simple, tasty, repeatable, quick and easy to eat. There is concrete fucking evidence to prove that the people that eat the same shit every day in a fat loss phase achieve far greater results and their fat loss phases don't last anywhere near as long as the people that are constantly trying to keep things interesting. Yes, it might feel boring. Yes, it might feel monotonous, but do you know what's considered more boring? Zooming in on every fucking photo that you have taken this summer, pissing and moaning that you don't want that posted on social media because it makes you look fat, it's pulling on your man boobs, it's pulling on your love handles, or feeling like a complete sack of shit by the pool on a family holiday. That shit is boring. If you can make your nutrition as simple, tasty and repeatable as possible and commit to eating the same things every day, not only will you achieve a far greater result, you'll be able to reverse diet out of that fat loss phase far sooner. Therefore, life is always going to be easier, more enjoyable on higher calories. Now, the solution to this is actually spend time dedicated to nutrition. Spend time planning and preparing your intake. You should already know what you're going to be eating tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. If you're getting to the end of the day and figuring that you've gone over your calories or you've not had enough protein, you fucked it, you failed. You need to be proactive with this. Like I say, the longer you fuck about in a fat loss phase, the longer it's going to take. Commit to eating the same things daily, make it repeatable, make it simple, make the meals quick and easy to make, and I guarantee you'll be glad you did it because you'll get far greater results and you'll have to spend far less time in a dieting phase. And lastly, remember, you're in a fat loss phase, you're in a dieting phase. You're going to be hungry. You're going to have to say no to things. You're going to have to make sacrifices. But if you constantly eat away the hunger, try to be too social, try to keep things too interested and too varied, you're no longer in a deficit, you're not going to lose body fat, you're going to get pissed off, frustrated, think what's the point, and end up back to square one. Commit to it. Fully send it, eat the same shit daily, track your intake, don't go too extreme. I guarantee you'll get a far greater result and you'll be far more grateful that you did what was required, because then you will get to a point where you'll earn the right to have more calories, more flexibility, more freedom, and you'll have achieved that fat loss result that you wanted in the first place. Now, hopefully you found that useful. If I've not absolutely bored you to death and you're still here at this point, I would greatly appreciate if you'd consider subscribing to the channel. The goal is to try and hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of June. And if you want a little bit more content or a little bit of contact with myself, head over to my Instagram, links in the description. I post on there every single day. But for now, thanks for watching. Much love. Peace out.